Welcome into day 2 of our Halloween countdown, our ghost host countdown of films that have real life horror hosts somewhere in the movie, usually in the cast, and that was the case with last night's movie. We kicked the thing off with The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant. What a fun movie that was, and I mean, fun, wacky, sewing two heads on one body. That is absolutely classic. Talk about a great horror host connection. The host that was in that one, Larry Vincent, aka Sinister Seymour, one of the greats of the business. He was a fun one. I love that he was one of the early hosts who liked to mock the movies and have fun with it. So, and he was a great, that being out in LA, he got a lot of attention. He got to be in a number of movies. What a cool guy. Here's to you, Larry, Seymour, excuse me, Seymour. Good job there. All right, well, we're going to pick tonight's movie now and see what we'll be covering. Dig deep down in here, see what we got tonight. All right, tonight we're going to veer off the path a little bit into some television with a host and a film that a lot of you out there absolutely will be familiar with. You'll know this host. This host was an absolute rock star in his time. Some of you may find it a little bit of a controversial pick, but I absolutely believe that it belongs on this list. I'm talking about Tales from the Crypt. In 1989, HBO launched a new series titled Tales from the Crypt, which was based on the successful line of horror comics made by EC Comics in the 1950s. That line of comics included Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and Haunt of Fear. Each book had its own specific host for the horror stories within the 4 color pages. The Vault Keeper for the Vault of Horror, the Old Witch for the Haunt of Fear, and the Crypt Keeper for Tales from the Crypt. HBO brought the Crypt Keeper along with them from the series, which adapted stories from all 3 EC comics. However, only the Crypt Keeper appeared in this series with an updated look. The original comic book Crypt Keeper looked like a decrepit old man with long hair wearing robes. The new version of CK looked like an emaciated, rotten corpse with stringy white hair on the back of his head. He was created using a puppet for the series, which was an interesting creative choice, and the character was voiced by John Kassir. He was a complete ham, with an over-the-top delivery full of graveyard puns and trademark shrieking laugh. He wasn't the first on-screen adaptation of The Crypt Keeper, however. That honor belongs to Ralph Richardson. He played the character in the 1972 Amicus horror anthology Tales from the Crypt. It featured 5 stories, all taken from EC Comics as well. The Crypt Keeper guides viewers through the tales as the 5 visitors enter his crypt. The HBO series ran for 7 seasons from July 1989 to July 1996 with a total of 93 episodes. It featured a fantastic opening sequence of a creepy, dilapidated old house. We sweep up the stairs and through the house into the basement where the Crypt Keeper pops out of a coffin, cackling. The show was wildly successful and featured tons of star actors, including John Astin, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Christopher Reeve, Timothy Dalton, Adam West, and many more. Like the old Batman series of the 60s, everyone wanted to be on the show. Lots of great directors worked on the show as well, including Richard Donner, Walter Hill, Fred Decker, Robert Zemeckis, Tobe Hooper, and many others. The Crypt Keeper became a rock star. The character was so popular they even made a Saturday morning cartoon called Tales from the Crypt Keeper, which ran for 2 seasons, and a kids' game show called Secrets of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House, which ran for 1 season. There were also 2 spin-off feature films, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night in 1995, and Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood in 1996. All right, Tales from the Crypt, some cable television action for our countdown here. Now, some of you might balk at this entry and say, hey, you said these were going to be real life horror hosts within this countdown, and that is true. He is an animated puppet. However, John Kassir, who voiced the puppet, the Crypt Keeper, was inducted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame. So he is an actual Hall of Fame horror host member. The Crypt Keeper is absolutely a horror host. And whether it's done by a puppet or an actual human, he was a character, and he did appear in movies and television shows, as you heard in the countdown, and is one of my favorite horror anthology TV shows. So I'm going to give Tales from the Crypt I'm going to go ahead and go 4.5 skulls. It's so much fun and included so many big name stars that it was absolutely huge on television. Highly entertaining, and one of the most fun things. I still dig out my DVDs and go through it from time to time, and that's one that could use a proper Blu-ray release for sure. All right, guys, let me know what you think about Tales from the Crypt in the comments down below. Tune back in tomorrow night. We'll keep this countdown going, and don't forget to subscribe. And until tomorrow night, stay mad.
Hope you enjoyed our little bedtime story, kids.